This is the Nightwolf howling at you, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Masters of the WWE Universe Seth Rollins action figure. This is a case where I got the figure off of eBay. Technically, he wasn't used. I mean, the sword is still in the baggie. I don't know why the person who had it was just selling it like that, but he did have the backing board, he had the comic, he had the accessories, so I was willing to buy it. I would prefer generally to get them in package, but I'm not going to complain at a good price. And I think I spent less than $10 on him, along with a couple other figures who were also sold the same way. And it was rather cheap shipping. So, Seth here was born Colby Daniel Lopez on May 28th, 1986. And of course is an American professional wrestler. After all, this is the WWE Universe. He performs on the Raw brand under the ring name Seth freaking Rollins and is the current and inaugural World Heavyweight Champion. He's been praised for his in-ring skills and ability to reinvent his on-screen character. And he is generally regarded as one of the best wrestlers active today and one of the greatest wrestlers of his generation, according to Wikipedia. Although, to be perfectly honest, I'm going to go back to what I read for Bray Wyatt on his characterization, and I definitely think he sounds a lot more fun. He has also used a number of different names in the ring. Gix, Seth Rollins, Seth freaking Rollins, Taj the Destroyer, and Tyler Black. He also began dating an Irish professional wrestler named Rebecca Quinn, who is known as Becky Lynch, the Man. In January of 2019, they had a daughter in December and were married in June of the next year. So that's two wrestlers I have done reviews for who are married to two other wrestlers I have done reviews for now. So let's go ahead and take a look at his, backing board here. There's nobody more enduring than the architect of alliances. He'll take on any obstacle to win, even if he has to burn it down. And of course, he comes with a burning sword. And in this wave, we have Jake the Snake Roberts, the evil purveyor of poisons, Mr. T, heroic pitier of fools, the Fiend Bray Wyatt, evil lord of the Fireflies, and Seth Rollins himself, the slayer of kings and beasts. And this does look like this takes place after Triple H got turned to stone. And of course, on his cover, we see a bunch of different characters going up against him. I'm not sure who that is, but I know I have the figure. I believe that is the Undertaker back there, and of course, Triple H. And my mind is totally blanking on the guy whose figure I really like and had a prolapsed knee joint. Seth Rollins, Slayer of Kings and Beasts. The greatest battle has begun. A darkness threatens to consume WWE Eternia as a faction of evil superstars rise from parts unknown to control the balance of power. But the heroic superstars accept the challenge to defend the planet and determine who are the masters of the WWE Universe. Height, 6 foot 1 inch. That might make him the shortest of the figures I've reviewed. Weight, 217 pounds. Superstar power, architect of alliances, burns things down. Foreign objects, burning sword, slayer's armor. Seth Rollins heard the call of the Skull King of Kings tournament and arrived at the Rattlesnake Mountain to claim the crown. In the first round, the monstrous Hydra rose from the 1,000-year slumber, but the Beast Slayer did not yield. Superstar after superstar, each with the same ultimate go, fell to the architect. Fiend! Until there were only one thing left to do. The crown is mine. Time to burn it down. Looks like his last, is the Fiend supposed to be knocked out there, or is he supposed to be standing as the last fighter? I can't really tell in that image. And on the back, we have the same cross cell that we had on the back of the package. No surprise there. So we have Seth Rollins in all his glory. He's got a pretty good head sculpt there, unique. Beard looks really good, and it's well painted overall, because I've seen quite a few times where they did not quite fill in the facial hair. Looking at you, Snake Eyes Origins movie, Snake Eyes pretty boy head. Articulation wise, he has the standard bit here where he's got that double ball joint where you can move the peg around in the neck hole, but you can also spin his head around. However, the hair and the armor do kind of interfere with each other. So it's hard to get him to really turn his head all the way around. I'm sure once we take the armor off, that'll work just fine though. The arm has the upward hinge, so you can go up and down. It's got the peg to allow you to spin it around. The elbow, of course, has the standard hinge single. And there is, of course, the pin in there that allows you to make him look like he's doing something inappropriate. The hand has the spinny at the wrist and the in and out articulation. Come to think of it, I believe most of the Masters of the Universe figures have the in and out articulation, not up and down. I want to say it's only the G.I. Joe figures that have that up and down part. He has the torso spin. His leg can kick up so far, and with this brief, it does seem like it goes a little farther than the furry shorts. He can kick down a little bit, or back, I guess. He can kick out, like so. He does have knee pads on, which will hinder your knee bend a little bit, but not too badly in this case. Boot cut, ankle hinge, and ankle spin. Now, to point out here, he does have the briefs that they've been putting on a lot of the WWE Eternia figures. But it does look like he's got entirely new boots for this figure, because there's no laces here. It doesn't have the fur around it, and even the shoe part here does not have any lacing or anything else. So at least as far as the order I've gone in for this, these may be fully new. Obviously, in previous waves, there might be these ones used also, and I just don't know about it because I haven't actually looked at one of those yet. The armor he has here is also the armor that came with the Zodak for the Masters of the Universe Classics line. It fits him extremely well, which makes me kind of wonder, again, and I've wondered this with similar things and found out I was wrong, but it does kind of appear like it's possible that this was actually modified specifically to fit these figures, because I can't imagine this harness fitting on him this well if it wasn't. And now we'll have to see if we can actually take it off, which I'm thinking they may have actually glued this one in place. No, okay, never mind. Or they might have glued that side in place. So we can pop his head off, pop his arm off, and then slide the armor off. The black and the kind of, I'm going with, it's more of a bronze color than a gold color, actually looks really good on this. Probably should have done that with Wondar. So if we put his head back on, we can now spin him all the way around. And he's got a lot of pretty good detailing in his hair here too. It is a unique hair sculpt for this figure. Now let's go ahead and take a look at his sword. How many people watch just to see if I cut myself, just out of curiosity? Like so many of the WWE Universe figures, he comes with a weapon that came originally from Classics. This being the flame sword that came with the Four Horsemen's dragon figure original for their create a character contest line, I think it was. Or at least it was one of the ones that they got to do. And I cannot remember the name of that character. I do have it, I just can't remember it. But who doesn't like a good flaming sword? This is another one of those things where I think it would have been awesome if they made it glow in the dark, because they've got orange glow in the dark plastics. I mean, we've seen that before. Hell, I think it was the Torlai Mattel doll from Monster High that had the orange glow in the dark items. And of course, as mentioned before, he is married to Becky Lynch. And now that I look at the two of them together, their outfits are definitely designed to pair with each other, as they are wearing the same color scheme of black and that bronze goldish color. I'm going to assume that that was on purpose and not just a coincidence, but I could be wrong. However, that being said, since our last scene in the mini comic was Seth Rollins versus The Fiend, I believe that is going to be who we see our fight with today. Well, I don't believe it actually is, since, you know, I'm the one who decides that at this point. Who will come out on top? And this does make me wish I had the rattlesnake ring. Oh! Bray Wyatt for the... Oh, sorry. Seth Rollins for the win. Although he did lose his sword. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review. It was probably pretty quick since I didn't have to actually open up anything this time. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Peace and love. So, you know, as I was sitting here doing some of the photos that I like to put at the end of the video, I realized something. Overall, like, Seth Rollins' figure looks beautiful. It's well done. The colors look great, and it's a nice display piece. But it's also kind of boring as far as play value goes. Like, you've got the Fiend with the jaw and his replaceable arms. You had Jake the Snake in this wave with the removable faceplate and the rubber snake. Mr. T with the two different weapon arms. Out of all of them, I hate to say it, but the Seth Rollins figures is actually kind of boring compared to the rest of them. Again, it's a beautiful looking figure. It looks great. But the play value is kind of meh, in my opinion.